Archaeologists estimate that the ancient Greeks arrived in China before Marco Polo. Chinese archaeologists estimate that the West came into contact with China much earlier thanks to the travels of ancient Greeks. So far, experts have reported that the first Europeans to reach the eastern country, China that is, was Marco Polo in the 13th century, but archaeologist of China Li Jiuchen from the Museum of the Mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, announced the new findings show that Europe came into contact with China 1,500 years earlier thanks to ancient Greeks, and more specifically, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great got to China. He even emphasized that as early as the 3rd century BC, which is the time when Alexander the Great lived, craftsmen who came from the Greek era, the area, trained the ancient Chinese in new construction techniques. Another study identified a European mitochondrial genome in archaeological digs in Xinjiang province in the country's northwest. Remember that Alexander the Great did cross the Taklamakan Desert. That's where he went with 30,000 soldiers, and he lost 10,000 there. He went there in order to meet a UFO and receive a superweapon from an Atlantean. Let's remember that UFOs, mothership, if you see 4 videos before this, historical testimonies of ETs and UFOs, Olympian gods, his conquest of Tyre, which is an island off Lebanon, was thanks to the UFOs destroying the walls of Tyre for him. The mothership made a hole with laser beams into the walls of the city, because the cities there, the old cities were fortified by walls. And the smaller spacecraft of UFOs hit the guard towers with the laser beams. So what was going on with Alexander the Great and all these UFOs? And obviously, by extension, extraterrestrials, or whatever, call them Olympian gods, whatever. So he crossed the Taklamakan Desert and he went through the Himalayas and he got to China. So it all started when farmers discovered 8,000 terracotta effigies buried near the tomb of the first emperor in 1974, except there was no tradition of creating large human effigies in China prior to the creation of this particular tomb. The figures found usually did not exceed 20 centimeters in size. This is about the size of our palm and fingers. Dr. Zhu Zhen explains that the rapid development of artisan skills must come from the foreign influences. What they appreciate is that the famous terracotta army and other effigies are influenced by ancient Greek art. This particular theory is also supported by Professor Lucas Nickel from the University of Vienna. And this I've translated from a Greek article from BBC and Huffington Post. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box